Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be figuring out how I made the caustic water that everybody was asking me about on TikTok. So we're going to jump straight into that and let's go ahead and begin. Also, if you're enjoying the audio quality, I got a new mic and I'm testing it out. So if you guys enjoy it, let me know down in the comments. But without further ado, we're going to get rid of the default cube and we're going to add in a plane. There's no need to scale it up. You can if you want to, but we're just going to leave it default size. Let's straight to the shader. We're gonna add a new one. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add in a texture node, texture coordinate node actually. We're actually gonna go ahead and duplicate this because we're gonna need two. We're gonna need a mapping node. We're gonna connect the object to the first vector. And this is where we're gonna be getting our animation for our lines. So if you wanna go ahead and follow what I'm doing, you can. We're gonna add a driver. We're gonna keep it a scripted expression. We're gonna change this to frame slash, well, we're gonna do more like 60 for this one. And then you're going to do single property, change this to frame, go here, change this to scene, pick your scene. You want to put frame underscore current. That will be your animation for later. Next thing you want is a wave texture. You want to connect that from the vector to this vector. After that, you're going to want to add a math node. We're going to keep it on the add. We're going to connect the color to the first value. Then we're going to connect the color to the second value, actually, my fault. Next, we're going to want to add a combine node and a separate node for the XYZ. We're going to connect this object there to the vector. We're going to connect the X's and the Z's, Y to the top value of the add. So after that, we're going to want to add another mapping node. We're going to connect this vector to the top one. And this is going to be the one we're going to do with the X, and we're going to add another driver. We're going to set this to frame slash 50. Why not? And then we're going to do frame, change this to a single property. You know the drill. Scene, take your scene, frame underscore current. That will set the animation for the X. And then you're going to want to add two Voronoi textures. I always get that word mixed up. You're going to add two. I'm going to duplicate this one like that, zoom out a little bit, and we're going to connect this to here and also to this one. So for this bottom one, we're going to change it to a smooth F1, and we're going to keep this one the exact same. And then we're going to want to add another math node. So this one's going to be a subtract node, and then we're going to connect the top distance to the top value, and we're going to connect the bottom distance to the bottom value. After that, you're going to want to add color ramp, connect the value to the FAC. Then you're going to want to add an emission node there, the mix shader. You're going to connect this to the top, and then you're going to connect the last piece to the surface. So I changed my second mapping node from the X to the Z because we're not going for a stream or like a river type current. We're going for like more still water with the sun hitting the top of the water. So we do the exact same thing we did for the X, but put it to the Z. Oh, and one last thing, I almost forgot, we need to connect the Y to this value right here on the other end of the add. So that way we can get the actual lines to wiggle and, you know, appear like this. So like I said, I'm just going to mess around with the variations right now and get somewhat of a look that we're going for. Oh, and one more thing, change the bands into rings so you get these. So this is where I'm at right now with my design and the numbers that I got. I'll go through and quickly show some of the variations and the numbers that I use. So if you want to copy it, you can. Like I said, it's not too hard. The branch is a little bit kind of hard to follow through, but once you know it, you know it. This is the wave texture, and this is just me off the default size of the plane. So if you scale it up, make sure you go accordingly to that and pick your sizes how you're doing it for your freeform. This is my Voronoi texture, or Voronoi texture. And the other ones right here, make sure they match. And now I'm going to change the color of my black so I can get the color that we want of the ocean, more like a blue color like this. You can change the strength of it like this and everything with the emission. You can also mess with the mix shader and stuff like that. And so this is how you're going to control the hardness of the line. So if you want something more like, you know, Legend of Zelda, Wind Waker, similar to what I was just doing, you kind of want to get one more like this, but you want more harder lines. So you're gonna kind of have to play around with it, like something like this. You have to play around with it more and get like the thickness and everything that you want correctly. Play around with this stuff, but for the most part, this is how you get the pretty much the design. And let me know if you guys like this video. Pretty much the end of the tutorial. If you guys like the design, if you end up making something with it, let me know what it looks like. You can tag me at Sean Renders on IG. I will leave the description to the video that I first watched that even taught me how to do this before I got the still variation. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did like it, comment maybe what you want me to design next, or maybe texture next. I would love to figure out what you guys want to see, and maybe consider subscribing. And until the next video, I will see you then. Have a good one.